Did somebody say custom bash prompt? That makes me think Python virtual environments, and we don't have Python on this container yet. So let's drop into our video notes because I had thought about this ahead of time. Make that font bigger and grab these lines. We'll go one at a time. I used to think that this was the GNU software build tools. It's not. It's just this stuff that makes writing just subsequent stuff about managing repositories other than the main one easier. API wrapper stuff. So anyway, we'll go over to screen 2, pop up our terminal, which locks us right immediately into our container, which is a beautiful thing. This is an LXD container. And we are going to sudo apt install this software properties comment. Then we're going to sudo, I'm going to get the sudo apt-repository. Yeah, okay. I guess that's a special command. I was going to abbreviate it to just the apt, but this is not that. This is something different. That adds to our repository where you can pull things from this deadsnakes organization that archives old Python versions. Press enter to continue. But in addition to archiving Python, versions of ages past, the deadsnakes, it also provides the latest and greatest, like Python 3, and makes commands such as this actually work, whereas they might not have before. I'll clear the screen in advance of that. So, sudo apt install Python 3.10, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I would like that very much. I should have done a before and after to show you that these LXD containers pulled down from the Ubuntu repo or image library or whatever terminology is used for it, don't have Python pre-installed. Just isn't there. And so if you're going to put Python on it, you might as well put version 3.10 these days at the time of the shooting of this video. Now, while venv is in fact part of the Python standard library, you can go research that yourself, it apparently still requires a separate apt install. So we want that, we need that, we install that. That's like the whole point of this. So whereas we lock ourselves into a container, we're also going to lock ourselves into a Python virtual environment so that we isolate our pip installs and stuff. It comes into play even more as we do Jupyter Notebook stuff, Jupyter Lab stuff. So I'm going to clear it because this next line isn't simply one of these fetching of software from remote locations. This is the using of the venv program, forcing it into the context of the Python I'm calling it from, and creating a virtual environment from my home directory / / called Py310. I'm creating a Python 310 virtual environment. Oops, I almost double pasted that. Don't need to do that. I just need to hit enter. And this is actually putting a copy of a whole bunch of stuff in that location, the Python executable and stuff. So if I do an ls now, you might have been used to seeing just the data and just the GitHub folders here. Now there's a Py310. These virtual environments are important enough to me that I'll put them right on the root of my home location so that it's always in my face, and that the paths that are about to show are quite a bit shorter because I've got something in mind, which is to lock this into activating that Python venv by vimming my ~home.bash_profile and putting it, I guess, immediately under this one. Nope, I am going to put it over it. So first we activate our Python virtual environment by reaching into its bin directory and running the script called activate that resides there as a convention of the venv system. And that is going to customize the prompt, and then I'm going to customize the prompt again. And there's probably some order sensitivity here. This is the order that strikes me as the correct order. So I'm going to write and quit, and I'm going to exit out. And here's the before Ubuntu at Drummers. Nothing special before the word Ubuntu. Take note, right? Okay, exit again, and then we go into the terminal. Drum roll, please. Pi 310, we're locked into a Python virtual environment. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up if this is of interest to you, a little bit of value. A Linux container, not WSL, not the Windows Subsystem for Linux, mind you, but LXC, the Linux container system under the Windows Subsystem for Linux, running full screen on a desktop, locked in on boot to the container, to the Python virtual environment under the container, so that any pip installs, but that's coming up soon, right? Pip install Jupyter, coming soon.